Welcome back to the Get Well with Me podcast. I am your host and your hypnotist, Adrianne Hart, and together we explore the healing powers of our subconscious minds while leaning in towards a healthier lifestyle. And our philosophy here is excellence, not perfection. So today it is early. I've never done a live stream at 8:30 in the morning. I am still drinking my coffee. If you are watching with me, please drop in the comments, how do you take your coffee? So for me, this was like an identity level shift. So I thought that I would, let's see, I've got a couple notes here. Um, the title of this session is Stop Trying and Be. And I thought maybe we could do like a little mini hypnosis together as well. Um, Stop trying and be. So when we say I'm trying, like I'm trying to quit smoking, I'm trying to lose weight, I'm trying to drink less soda, I'm trying to keep a cool head, I'm trying to not get triggered, that implies that we are intending, but with failure, right? So to try, the very essence of the word try means that it's not happening. So the fastest way to get to our desired reality is to just be, right? But there is this bridge, and I like to think of it as a bridge of resistance, right? So we have our intention, we have this like trying in the middle, which I would consider to be the bridge of resistance. And then we have our desired reality. So to go from here to here, what we want to do is dissolve this bridge of resistance. And that is an identity level shift. So, when it comes to my coffee, like how do I take my coffee? Well, I'm a little bit particular about how I make it. However, I take it with oat milk. I don't add any sugar. I just add oat milk. And I ran out of my regular Aldi oat milk and I bought some Oatly. And on the side of the container, there was like all this marketing jazz. And one of the things that it says is, will people still like me if I drink oat milk? And I was like, what kind of messaging is that? And then I realized this is an oat milk company directly addressing one of the biggest objections that people have to making a change, right? So I thought that was really interesting because they're addressing like the pain that comes with changing your identity as a person that drinks a conventional creamer or conventional milk to somebody that drinks oat milk. Now, I can tell you, if someone does not like how I take my coffee, I am totally cool with that. But the fact that that's a thing, right? Like that is such a thing that it's printed on the side of the Oatly bottle. I thought that was really interesting. It really speaks to the hesitation that a person has when we go to make a change in our life. And I'm not saying oat milk is healthier, so don't misunderstand. Whatever's right for you is absolutely right for you. But when we go to make a change, like on an identity level, when we think about what it would be like to be the thinner version of ourselves or the person that um, changes the type of content that they listen to or consume, or a even like going into parenthood, or am I the kind of person that drives a minivan? Am I the kind of person who XYZ? I mean, it's really silly how our identities are the catalyst for who we are. And they are also what stops us from making these changes. So identity is not the enemy, it's the superpower. But how do we go from A to our desired reality, B? And hypnosis is a really fun and easy way to dissolve that resistance because you can try on this identity in the privacy of your own mind. In the instance of making healthy changes in your life, like it's so interesting. You know how Facebook pops up these memories? There was a memory that popped up from 8 years ago, and it was the day after I watched the documentary Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead. I watched it with my husband, and then it was so inspiring. Like the next day, we went to the produce store and like we bought vegetables. And in this Facebook post, I was asking people, has anyone seen this documentary? And what produce store do I go to? This was a huge identity shift. And people did kind of make fun of us for getting healthy. What's in that mason jar? I remember I went to work one time and the boss was like, "Oh, thank you for, you know what? I'm not even gonna repeat that." But people can be so inappropriate and so not supportive of you intending on making a healthy change in your life. And that could be painful, but it also could be really empowering. Like when you are that person, the resistance isn't there. Like a non-smoker doesn't think about having a cigarette. They don't think about not having a cigarette. They don't think about how hard it is to not have a cigarette because they are a non-smoker. It is their identity. So shifting to this identity of that person that you're kind of like playing around with in your mind, who you want to be, like, how there's a part of you that wants to do the healthy thing, and then there is a part of you that doesn't feel like it. So if you can dissolve that resistance, you can get to where you want to go really fast. And like maybe you're thinking about making a healthy change. And this could apply to relationships. This can apply to your space. Maybe you're a person that has a lot of clutter around and you want to be more minimalistic. All of these things can happen at an identity level. Like when you can say to yourself, I am the kind of person that easily lets go of those things that no longer serve me. I am I am the person who donates things that I know that other people can benefit from. I am a person who enjoys the clarity of a minimalist space. And so, believe me, I'm not talking about myself. Or maybe I am, because over there on that side of the office, that's someone else's desk, and there's a lot of clutter over there. And I just have an invisible wall. Like I just don't see it. I just live in my own bubble, right? And we all live in our own bubble. We all live in the perception of our own reality. We're all able to generalize, delete, right? Like we can actually not see things anymore that are right in front of our face. It's so interesting. All of this stuff can happen at an identity level, and we can dissolve that bridge of resistance. Um, so yes, please, because I need some comments on these videos. Subscribe if you are watching. I really do appreciate you. I know I've had great success on Spotify for a long time, but this YouTube, like I'm determined to get it going because I just think it's where I spend all my time. I'm a YouTube premium subscriber. I'm on YouTube listening to audiobooks, watching podcasts, saturating my mind with everything that's good for me, everything that brings me more success, everything that helps me to grow, and lots of silly stuff too. Like silly things. I like to watch Beard Meets Food and just watch him eat. I don't know. It's strange, but like that's the beauty of YouTube, right? Okay, so subscribe, drop something in the comments. Tell me how you take your coffee. Tell me if you hate me now because I drink oat milk. Um, okay, so here's an empowering question to help you dissolve some of that resistance. Does your identity match the level of success you desire? This is such a great question that we can ask ourselves. Does your identity match that level of success that you desire? So if you desire to build up your finances, do you identify as a savior, a saver? Do you identify as an investor? Do you identify as a person who has a good work ethic, right? Because if you tend to hear yourself saying like, I want to do that, but I'm lazy. Like these are all things that can be corrected internally. If you have a strong enough emotion and you impress your mind, like this doesn't have to be done in a hypnosis session. This can be done in the privacy of your own mind. You can put yourself in an environment that impresses your mind, like getting around the people, getting around the environment of that matches that identity of who you want to be. Also, it could be done in meditation. Just allow yourself to close your eyes, clear your mind, and try on these identities just like you try on a jacket. Like try it on, see if it fits. See what thoughts come up for you. Do you immediately think of, oh gosh, what would someone think, right? What would this person think? What would these people on social media think if I get healthy, if I lose the weight, if I change my habit, if I put oat milk in my coffee, right? And just see like what comes up for you, where that resistance is, and challenge yourself on that. Impress your mind with the emotion of how good it will feel when you are that person. And that way, there is no more trying. If you wanted to up level your relationships, am I a person who has appreciation and says thank you when people do kind things for me? Am I a person who looks out how I can make the other person, the partner, how can I make their life better? Like that's such a great question. Like how can I make my partner's life better today? Like what can I do for that person to pleasantly surprise them? What can you do for yourself to pleasantly surprise yourself? How can you do those things that make you proud of yourself? Like these are the empowering questions that absolutely saturate my mind. And I intend to share them with you because empowering questions, I know this is a side tangent and I'm literally, it's like early and I'm just out here on the YouTube live, just like riffing off the top of my mind. But empowering questions are so powerful because your unconscious mind has to answer them, right? It also has to answer every question, even like if you say to somebody, "What's wrong with you?" That's what you're going to get back. You're going to get what's wrong with that person. And we can carefully use our words to ask better questions. And I know I've said this before, and I'll say it all the time. If you think someone is having a bad day and you want to know what's on their mind, instead of saying what's wrong with you, you can say, is something troubling you? Or is there something on your mind? And oftentimes people need to be like pushed and prodded a little bit to open up. So actually both of those questions back to back. And how much better is that then? Is there, what's wrong? Or what's wrong with you? Like if parents say that to their kids, that is impressing that child's mind that with the idea that there is something like intrinsically wrong with this child. And how much better would it be to reframe that and say, what makes you think that that's a good idea? Or do you think that you could have expressed that in a more kind way? Like you can actually use your words to draw out the answer that you want. I mean, if you think about sales, right, it's all about asking the right questions. It's about helping a person to see themselves in that outcome, right? With that thing, solving their problem, like how would this make your life better? Right? That's really like the crux of it. And we can use these techniques and these ideas to dissolve resistance between who we are now and our desired reality. The other thing that really kind of outside of identity, I'd say the number two thing is permission. People need permission. And it's kind of silly because as an adult, why are we still asking for permission? I think it is appropriate in some contexts. For instance, if you're in a relationship with someone and you're going to make a decision, even at an identity level that affects the whole family, there may be appropriate times that you need permission perhaps in the workplace. But when it comes to up leveling your own healthy habits, when it comes to up leveling your mindset, your confidence, your deep sleep, um, your business opportunities, your YouTube channel, like, do you know how many people they want to be seen, but they're afraid to be seen because they feel like they need permission? Many of my clients, especially if they're in like the online space, they need permission. I don't, I just want to be like, do you need, who do you need permission from, really, is the question that I would ask. And do you need permission from yourself? Do you need permission from your creator? Do you need permission? Because like that's valid, right? Do you need permission from um like your parents? Some people feel like they need permission from their parents forever and ever and ever. And I'm very fortunate. I was raised just, I don't know, like I think my parents empowered us um, to do what we needed to do. Or I don't know how to really put that, but I always felt empowered, like that I was allowed to, um, I was allowed to have a job. I was allowed to work hard. I was allowed to, you know, get a driver's license. I have some friends that even as young adults, it was like they were just like waiting on permission to take the next step in their life. So, permission is absolutely powerful. So ask yourself, who do you need that permission from? When you really get down to it and you realize it's you that you need the permission from, it's you that can write that permission slip. So, before we do our mini session, stop trying and just be, right? So, delete that idea of like, I'm trying to be better and just be. Um, okay. So, if you're still with me, I invite you to allow those eyes to close, allow those eyelids to feel very heavy, and just give yourself permission to know that it is safe to be here now. And if you have a desired reality on your mind, if you have an identity shift that you've been playing tug of war with in your mind, I invite you to see yourself with that permission slip in your hand. And I wonder if it looks familiar. Permission to be different, permission to show up in a new way, knowing it will surprise others. Some people might not be happy about you going to the next level and perhaps leaving them behind. This permission slip, permission to feel better, permission to do better, permission to be seen, permission to do those things that a person would regret not doing. And when you are ready, I invite you to notice the pen in your hand. Maybe it's your favorite pen. Notice what that feels like. Feel the weight of it in your hand and realize that this permission slip, it requires a signature, your signature. And as a way of setting this intention to just be, to try on this new identity in the privacy of your own mind, permission to take action. I invite you to go ahead and sign that permission slip if you haven't already. And go ahead and fold it up and slip it into a pocket, perhaps close to your heart. Breathe in these changes now, feeling excited about this new permission to just be who you really want to be. And when you are ready, you can open up those eyes and welcome back to the here and now. So, just to recap, you can try on your new identity in the privacy of your own mind, just as simply as that. You can give yourself permission to do something out of the ordinary, and especially to do those things that a person would regret not doing. Because when we begin with the end in mind and we fast forward to our very long lived life and we look back, won't it feel so good to know that you gave it your all, that you did take those risks, that you did up level your identity? So I hope that is helpful for you today. And thank you so much for being with me. And if you would like to join me live and join my inner circle, I invite you to Wellness Wednesday, and shout out to my friends in Wellness Wednesday every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time live on Zoom. It is a private circle, so you'll never see any video or anything from that magical 1 hour that happens every Wednesday. But it's really easy to sign up and it's free for the first month. And it's a very fluid group. People stop and pause their membership and come back depending on their schedule and their life. So it's low pressure. And I would love to see you there. I have that group especially for listeners of the Get Well With Me podcast and you, my YouTube audience. So thank you so much. Go to adriannehart.com and join me for my next group session. Thank you so much.